and welcome to the Pekin First podcast. My name is Josh, and I get the absolute pleasure of serving as the Online Ministries Director, and I have a special guest with me today.
Hi, I'm Debbie Helmick.
All right, Debbie, and Debbie is a certified lay servant. Okay, here at the church, I always get them between the servant, the minister, and the speaker. I always get them confused. Mm-hmm. All right, and this is, I believe this is episode 63. Yeah, 63, and this is called Digging Deeper. And we're going to dig a little deeper into some of the ministries here at Pekin First, and a couple in particular, the Open Table Cafe, and then we'll go through some bicentennial stuff and just some stuff going on here around the church and just some cool things that you can get involved in. All right, we start each episode off by, I'm a little off today. I had to rush to get here from somewhere else. It was a mess. And you know what happens when you rush to get places?
You forget stuff.
You forget stuff and you hit every red light, right?
Yes.
Which is God's way of just slowing you down.
Yes.
So I'm thankful for that, but frustrated at the same time. So
just take a breath. Take a breath.
We start each episode with this week's personal best, and I will go first. So this week, my daughter's Emily is playing volleyball, and I've used that a couple times as my personal best. But this week, yesterday, as a matter of fact, she is very inexperienced because she's only been doing it 7 months, and a lot of the girls that she plays with have been doing it for years. She scored out of the last 5 points, she scored 4 out of the last 5 points last night. And I watched that little girl's confidence, I say little girl, she's 13, go from way down here to all the way up here. And it's awesome to watch your kids just that confidence level get built. And it was awesome. So that is this week's personal best for me.
So you piggybacked on Emily's.
Yes,
personal best.
100%.
Yes.
Just as a parent,
parent, I understand.
Watching that go, yeah,
I understand
for sure.
So as I mentioned, this personal best always causes me a lot of stress because mine is like, I think I was only here one other time, and my personal best was I opened my mail. So. My personal best actually today was game day at a friend's house. And it's 5 of us spending the whole afternoon, lunch, and then playing different games and laughing hard. And that always is good. And so I'm like, I'm taking it.
Right.
That fills me up.
Absolutely. And just being with friends and I don't get a chance to do that much anymore. But even just in like my early 20s when you're just starting out or whatever, and we used to get together and do stuff like that, and just you have the best times, and it is 100% a soul filler. Like,
it really is.
It really is.
I ended up volunteering to bring dessert next month, so I don't know what got into me, but But we're going with it. This is my personal best for this week.
Awesome. All right. This is episode, I believe it's 63. The title will say it all, but it's called Digging Deeper. And we're going to dig deeper into we'll dig deeper into a couple of ministries here, but we're going to dig deeper into one ministry in particular. And that's because we've expanded the ministry, if you will. I'm going to say expanded, and it is the Open Table Cafe. So let's start back at the beginning, and we've done this before, so we'll do this one brief. But just give me a brief overview of how people coming together made this ministry happen.
Well, it's kind of funny. I was reading, this would have been back in fall of 2024. I'm reading The Current, which is the monthly newspaper from the conference. And I was reading about a church that was doing a community meal. And I was like, man, I really miss, we used to do that community meal, Feast at First.
Feast at First. Mm-hmm.
And so I reached out to Denise. And I said, hey, Denise, do you think we could pull together just a meal for the holiday? Thanksgiving, Christmas, something, just one meal. She's like, oh, yeah, I think maybe we could do that. We got to talking, and next thing you know, we're like, hey, maybe we could do it once a quarter. We're going to have to start slow. And so I reached out to some people who had been serving in Feast of First, and oh my gosh, they were so excited. They were like, oh my gosh, I've been praying for this. So, it was, we were all excited to do it. And so that's how we ended up starting. Our biggest challenge was having lead cooks. People helping in the kitchen's one thing, but lead cooks, there's
There's a talent for that, for sure.
Yeah. There's responsibility that goes with it.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's how it got started.
And then, so last year, maybe a little bit of the year before.
As a matter of fact, February of 2025 was our first open table cafe. So we brought people together and we said, hey, what should we call it? And so we came up with the open table cafe. We said, let's do it. I think we can do it once a quarter. And so that's how it started. And we were like, let's just see how it goes. And, to be perfectly honest, we didn't have the crowds we did before for Feast at First.
Yeah.
And, we were like, oh my gosh, I guess maybe this isn't what people want. But then we realized that, no, this is where God has us now. God's bringing us the people he wants to have here. And our job is not to decide whether this was good or not, but to welcome the people who come. And our guests are excited. A lot of them were people who came at Feast of First, so they're real excited to be back because we have a reputation for good meals.
We have a reputation, and so I've been digging into the history a lot, and that is a big part of Pekin First, is not just feeding each other, but feeding everyone. Just no matter the circumstance, from funerals to weddings to Feast at First to dinner. We used to have dinner shows or whatever.
Theater, yeah.
Dinner theater, yeah. And they were huge. They were massive. And so Pekin First has always prided itself on feeding people in a snack pack program. Feast at First, the funeral ministry dinner, just all kinds of, we feed our volunteers. And so, yeah, we 100% are known for feeding people. And with that, the big kitchen we have, it makes it convenient for sure.
It does. And it's biblical. What did Jesus do? He broke bread with people.
Broke bread. Mm-hmm.
That's how you get to know people.
Yeah.
That's how you sitting across from each other and you form relationships and you get to know people.
Well, and in everything we do, from beginning friendships and beginning first dates to meetings of companies getting together, you're always breaking bread. It's always over a meal. So yeah, 100%. Mm-hmm. So let's talk about, so we went through last year, and we continued to see a need.
Yes.
For the lunches, and they happened once a quarter. They happened from, correct me if I'm wrong, 11 to 12?
It was 11 to 12.
11 to 12.
Yes.
Last year. Mm-hmm. And so it happened once a quarter. And then at the end of last year, rumbling started about we're going to try to expand this ministry a little bit.
Well, actually, we were like, oh, can we continue this?
Okay.
How did we do? Because like I said, the lead cooks it all hinges on lead cooks.
Sure.
100%. And so we were like, basically, we all came together and said, are we going to continue doing this? And it was like overwhelmingly, it's like, I think we should do it every other month instead of every quarter. And, we're like, we had trouble getting lead cooks for 4 times a year. Mm-hmm. And now we're talking 6 times a year. And everybody involved was like, you know what, God will provide. God will provide. The need is there. We're going to trust God, and we're going to do it. And so I think we do have somebody signed up for every other month as lead cook. A couple of them are doing it twice.
Sure.
But we're going to do it.
But God provided.
God provided.
And you know what? That's I talked a lot of last week in the podcast about my troubles with just jumping off that cliff and trusting God. And it's tough to do. And I get inspired a lot about doing that because of the people around here, because sometimes we don't have the answers when we do things like we go from 3 times a year to 6 times a year. We don't have all the answers, but we just know that God will provide. And that is a very inspiring thing that happens around here all the time.
It
like
does.
it's not just this ministry or every once in a while. It is literally all the time that we're like, oh, this is what God's calling us to do. God will provide. And every time he does.
I took Brad and I took a workshop last year, it might have been the year before, and it was called Dream Like Jesus. And the whole thing was about don't dream about what you think you can do. Just dream big and trust that God will provide. And so, that it is hard to do.
So back to the Open Table Cafe. I kind of veered off there a minute,
okay.
but back to the Open Table Cafe. So didn't have lead cooks, but now we have. It looks like we have most of the lead cooks covered. What was the calling to go from 3 to 6? What was the reasoning?
From 4 to 6.
4 to 6. Sorry, yeah, quarters, 4
Yes.
quarters, yeah.
Yes. And I will say, yes, we do have the months covered, but if somebody really would like to,
Many hands make light work.
yes. So, yes. So the reasoning behind it was, I think one of the reasonings was that it's hard for people. We figured it was very hard for people to really figure out when we were open. Because once a quarter, most people don't think in terms of quarters. And, we work really hard to get the word out. We send out about 400 to 500 flyers.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we go to all the, we do it at the school. We have flyers at the Pekin Township at their, what do you call that? Food pantry. Grace Food Pantry, Tazewell County Health Department. I mean, we put out a lot of flyers. But we thought, if you're doing it every other month, it might be a little easier for people to kind of get that.
People get into a routine.
Get into that routine. Obviously, once a month would be better. That was the thing about being Feast at First, was you were the first Saturday of every month. Well, now we're the first Saturday of every other month. Right. So, we're getting there. And when one of the places I go to take flyers, there's some unhoused people that kind of hang out at McDonald's. And I always take the flyers down. And when I told him, I go, yeah, because he didn't know, as of our last one last year, I told him, I said, I don't know if we'll be able to continue it. And when I saw him, I said, yeah, not only are we continuing it, we're doing it every other month. And he was like, oh my gosh, that is awesome. So, and I told someone else, I saw her at the grocery store. And when I told her, she was ecstatic.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing how something simple as a hot meal can put a smile on somebody's face.
Yeah.
Or just give them peace.
Yes.
That I'm going to have a hot meal at least once this month. It's not going to be from a food pantry. It's not going to be and those things are great. Don't get me wrong, but you have to cook those things. You have to heat those things. And some people don't have that resource to heat the things up. So having a hot meal means a ton, especially when it's, 30 degrees outside or sub-zero degrees outside.
Well, and we do it a little differently than back in the day when a different church had it every month. So when they come to our church, they sit down and we serve them. They never get up to get anything. We bring them, they sit down, we say, what would you like to drink? We bring them their drink. Then we bring them their salad. Then we bring them their meal. It's not on paper plates. We treat them special.
Sure.
And we do that because we want people to know that you're special and we see you. And one of the things I really love about this ministry is Not everybody can talk to strangers.
Sure.
I get that.
Right.
But people who are comfortable with that, they sit down and they talk with them. And that is a big, big part of our ministry, is that you sit there and talk with them. Or even if you're just standing there and as you're pouring them another cup of coffee, you chit-chat with them.
Sure.
It's important that they realize that we see you. We see you and you matter. Because even if you're not a unhoused person, a lot of our seniors go about their day and they're kind of invisible to people.
Absolutely. There's a lot of people out there that it's a lonely factor. So having that hot meal and having somebody interact with you is the world. Just because you don't have the companion to talk to, just my grandmother just passed away not that long ago, but my grandfather was gone quite a bit before that. And before my aunt came up to help out, there was a lot of days I worried about her because she was alone, right? She didn't interact with anybody a couple days a week. And that can, number one, we talk about mental health a lot these days, and that can wear on your mental health. Especially if you're at the same time having money or housing or food problems, that then compounds on that mental issue, and that's where we start to get into trouble. Mm-hmm. So just having that meal for people to sit down and here at the church and be able to talk to people just about, even if it's just nothing, you know what I mean? It doesn't have to be a subject of importance, or to hear somebody's story. And I remember Jim telling me, we shot I was doing Where in Pekin is Josh. I was doing that one summer.
I remember that.
And we did a shot down at the riverfront. And there was a gentleman down there who you could 100% tell was struggling mentally and was unhoused and looked hungry. Jim ran to, I want to say Burger King or Arby's or whatever, got 2 meals, went back and said, "Hey, would you sit down and have a meal with me?" And that was the most powerful thing I'd ever seen. And sat there and just chatted with him. It wasn't, he said, when you listen to somebody's story, there's more to everybody.
Yes.
So listening to their story, these people are an open book, and using their experience to help somebody else sometimes is the world.
Yes. Yes.
So the Open Table Cafe, it happened. When's the next date?
It's this Saturday.
This coming Saturday.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes.
And
we changed the times.
Okay.
Okay. So when we decided to grow it to every other month, then we decided that, we were serving 11 to 12, and, maybe 12 o'clock, closing it down at 12 o'clock is just, a little too early for some people. Mm-hmm. And so we just shifted it a little bit, 11:30 to 12:30, to give people a chance. Now, I'm saying that, I don't want you to think that, 12:30, too bad.
Yeah,
hungry,
right.
yeah, too bad. No, we will still feed them. But, that's when we start wrapping things up.
Gotcha.
So,
right.
So we shifted it, so we thought it might be a little easier for folks.
11:30-ish to 12:30-ish.
Yeah.
Right. All right. And so that happens this Saturday, 11:30 to 12:30. If you're interested in volunteering, you can contact info@pekinfirst.org, and that goes directly to Geraldine, and she'll get you in contact with Debbie. And even if it's just you want to sit down and talk to people, if you're good at talking to people. If you're not, we are also looking for people to help serve and devotion. And
we'll find something for you to do. So before every meal we have devotion, mm-hmm. and we do have, I just pick some. Hey, would you like to do the devotion? So and so far everybody has said yes. Our core volunteers, mm-hmm. they know that if somebody new comes to volunteer, Sharon or Candy or somebody is going to walk alongside you. They're going to give up their spot so that you can serve, so that you can have that joy of serving. And if there's not enough serving that you needed to do, you can be doing drinks, or you can be, but the biggest thing really is just come and visit. Just come and visit and be present. Your presence is the most important thing.
And even if you want to come and you want to see what it's all about, so maybe in the next 2 months you can volunteer. We all will also welcome it. Come see what it's all about. This is a great way to reach out to people who are lonely or people who just need a hot meal. It's a great way to reach out to them. And if you know somebody that needs that, we have these little cards floating around. I'm going to hold that up to the camera, but I'll post it on the website as well. We have these little cards floating around. Give it to somebody that you think needs it. And we also have some flyers running around too. So give those flyers out, give this card out, let them know that there's a hot meal waiting for them at Pekin First this Saturday. And that in every other month after that, and it's the first Saturday of every other month. So starting in February, so then April, and so on and so forth. So it's just a great way to share the love and create disciples. And honestly, it's a testament to faith of just the way we're doing it. We started with every quarter, and now we're doing every other month. And this ministry is growing because there's a growing need, especially when it's cold. I can't emphasize that enough. Especially when it's cold, people get out of the cold, they get to have a hot meal. So it's just a great way to show faith for sure.
I want to also just speak briefly too. For me, it's more than just feeding people. Okay, it's about discipleship. We are called to grow in our discipleship, and there's several ways you can do it: through prayer, through worship, through generosity, through serving, putting yourself out there, and it's about discipleship for me. Okay, and so that's why, when I'm there, I'll be there. I don't really serve, okay? Right. I'm there to make sure everybody else gets to experience that joy of serving people. And basically, you're serving Christ.
Yes.
Because when you look in the face of someone, you see Christ.
Absolutely. All right. We also have some other cool things going on. We have the bicentennial. Now, Debbie is a part of a lot of what goes on around here at Pekin First. And I say she's kind of got her finger in a little bit of, I won't say everything, but a lot.
No, a lot.
But a lot.
That's because I'm a certified lay servant.
Lay servant, right. Yeah. But one of the things that you get to experience is the bicentennial committee, and it's you and a bunch of people. You're one of many people on this bicentennial committee, and there are some cool events going on. Tell me a little bit about. You and Gina have been working on the directory. The directory.
Yes, so, I know everybody's like, when's the directory coming? Yeah. I'll tell you what, that is not an easy project. And we're behind schedule. I'm always very optimistic. I thought we'd have it done before Christmas, but
maybe Easter.
Yeah, but it is at the designers. Okay. I do need to say that Geraldine has worked very hard working on the list of members and constituents. A constituent is a person who comes to church regularly here, but is not a member. But you're a member.
Right.
So she's worked very, very hard on that list. Gina has worked very, very hard on those pictures.
Really has.
Can you imagine all the pictures Gina has? And she has to go through those pictures and try to come up with a way to show the life of the church in a year.
Yeah.
So I know you guys haven't seen it yet, but please acknowledge Gina's hard work and Geraldine's hard work. They have worked very, very hard.
For sure.
So we're hoping it's at the designers now. So we're hoping to get the, what do they call it, the proof back. Mm-hmm. And then, once we look at it, then it should go rather quickly.
After that?
Yeah.
Awesome. So that's coming soon. We have a wedding service coming, and I believe that is the April 18th, right? Yep.
Yeah,
April
it's
18th.
kind of like a homecoming thing.
Yeah.
Okay. I can't really speak. I'm
Oh,
not
that's
on
right.
that team.
Right.
Yeah.
And I've talked
But
to,
it's April 18th.
Val a little bit about it as well. So that's the homecoming. I believe the choir is going to sing, all kinds of cool things going on. We have the block party that happens in July, and all these dates you can find on our website. We have just the snapshot at this point as we're gathering the information and putting it all together and working out all the details. That there's a Celebrate 200 tab there. Click on the tab and it'll update as we get more information on a lot of these. But the block party is gonna be really cool. All kinds of stuff to do for the kids, and there'll be some food. So all kinds of good things going on there. And then we have the 200 acts of, it's a service day, 200 acts of, I forgot what Sean's calling it, but 200 acts of kindness. We're going to have that going on, and that will happen in August. And then we have the big celebration where the bishop is coming in. Now, funny story, if you didn't see the throwback Thursday, it happened on Wednesday morning. And because I did it on Wednesday because February 4th of 1996, so 30 years ago, and it's hard for me to say that because I graduated in 97, right? It's very hard for me to say that. But we dedicated, we had a dedication service, consecration? No. Man, now I can't.
Is it a consecration
It's
service?
a consecration service where the building was finished.
Oh, yeah.
The
Consecration
yeah.
service,
So
yeah.
I always get them confused. So the west end of the building got rebuilt and added on and stuff like that. So we had that, and the bishop was here. So it'll be awesome to have the bishop here in October, and along with some of the previous pastors,
Former pastors and their wives.
Yeah.
The ones that can travel or close by or
Correct.
whatever. So
Yep.
that'll be pretty exciting.
That'll be exciting, and that's going to happen. That's a one service deal, so we'll have more information coming on that. And the praise band is going to be there. The choir is going to sing. We're going to have some organ. We're going to have a little bit of everything. So it's supposed to be really cool. So as we get closer to that, please check up on the website as these events pop up, and of course they'll be on our Facebook page as well. So many things going on here at Pre-Kim First. Check out the website.
I don't want to forget too to let people know that a lot of I'm going to call them artifacts.
Yes.
Are going to be displayed. That's a different team that's working on that,
Sure.
so I can't speak to that.
Sure.
But that should be pretty soon.
Yeah.
So that you can start, how they had pictures out there
Yeah,
this
last
last
week
time
they had pictures
identifying
up.
people, but I don't know what all that stuff is. Being a history major, you think I'd really be into that, but I'm like, okay.
I did that for a long time. I'm
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. So
So I've been digging into the past a lot to do the Throwback Thursdays, and then every so often we do the videos for the weekend. So it's fascinating. So if you do get a chance, they are going to be putting some of these pictures out in the lobby behind the sanctuary. Please check them out. I don't think a lot of people stopped to maybe see if they could identify somebody, but I think more people were curious. Just the old pictures and stuff like that. So 100%. So all kinds of cool things going on. Check it out on the website. And I have been asked about the pictures that I've scanned. I've been scanning a lot of the pictures to use in videos and stuff like that. We are going to get those digitalized and put on the website. So you will be able to see those coming up hopefully shortly. Time is always limited. So, but we'll get those scanned, and I'm also doing videos as well of converting VHS over to digital. So we'll get those up there too. So you'll be able to see all that good stuff.
yeah, you've done. I know it'll embarrass you, but you have done a great job
Thanks.
picking things out and showing them. And I know it's a lot of work.
It's a ton, but it's interesting, and like you, I love history. So it's at least it keeps my attention for sure. All right. So that is all I have for today. All we have for today. Any last words? Any words of wisdom?
No, please, if you're interested in an Open Table Cafe, please come out. And there's there's all kinds of ministries going on at the church.
Yeah.
So if you're not, like Rock Kids,
Yes.
that's another one. If you're not sure if that's really for you, just call Emmy up and say, hey, can I just hang out and see what it's all about? She would love to have you.
Absolutely. And they do a great job with the family and kids ministry as well. That's all over the place. So absolutely. All right. Remember, God put us here to do great things. So let's go do great things.